power to surmount the obligatory half of a universal value which produces guilt and splits in me. We have seen that the source of ethical values is the natural desire that people treat me in a certain way, which then is extended and obliges me to treat others in the same way. What is the source of the situational value? Let us take our value for money. What gives money such a value that I may be willing to tell a lie to obtain it? In the example given above, what is gain that makes the lie worthwhile to me? Is money a valuable thing worth a lie? I cannot eat money or admire its beauty or talk to it or use it as shelter from the rain. Therefore, money itself is not the attraction. But with money, I can buy things to eat, to wear, to look at, and so on. Money itself is not valuable, but the value of money seems to be in its buying power. However, if I was stranded on a desert island, the buying power of money would do me no good. Thus, it seems it must be the things themselves which money buys that make money valuable, not merely the isolated buying power. Why are the things valuable? The things are valuable for me, for my pleasure, security, and comfort. I value things for my comfort. What defines my comfort? Is it the me with comforts that is valuable, or the me who feels comfortable? Is there a difference between the two? There is a difference. Sometimes my stomach may be comfortably full. I am out of the rain. Nothing is pinching. The heater is working and my chair is soft. Yet I may not be comfortable with myself. What I really value is not mere comfort outside, but to be comfortable with myself. It is always my hope that the extra comforts that money can buy for me will make me more comfortable with myself. I buy comforts only for my sake, not for the sake of the comforts. I do not buy another chair because the chairs in the room are lonely. I buy a chair because, in one way or another, I think that to have a chair is going to make me feel more comfortable, either my body or pride of possession, or both. All comforts are for my sake alone. I choose comforts for me so that I will feel good. When I ignore my obligatory value for truthfulness and tell a lie instead to gain some money, it is because I have concluded that the money will add to my comfort. I do not see, in the given instance, truthfulness doing anything for my comfort. The same is true for my other situational choices. Anything I choose, anything I value is because I think there is some connection between that thing and my feeling good. The source of the value of a situational value is that I expect to feel good by exercising a choice based on that value.
Okay, what is this para talking about?
And why we give money so much importance.
Exactly. So that means, very good. Why don't you do this? Okay, so wonderful. So actually, values for money is something which is commonly known. But this para is about analyzing why is money important for us.
It was so
Right?
true actually.
Huh?
It was so true.
It's so true, right? So now this is a common value, whether you pretend or you don't pretend, everybody has value for it, right? So now, how does he break it down to this? Where is the source of this value for money? Where does it come from? He gives series of
In
things.
the situation that you are is where the value for that, according to the circumstances, the value for that thing, for your own comfort.
It's purchasing power.
Initially, yeah, but in different
So-
situations it has value and does not have value.
It's actually for
So
just to make
he
us feel
goes
good
step
about
by
ourselves.
step, right? So money as a note, right? Suppose demonetization, the very value, right?
Don't
All
get
of a
scary.
sudden, right? So that note lost its value next minute. So what then happens is, it's not the note itself, but as what Rajiv said is what he first brings it down to its purchasing power. The minute the money, the note with the currency loses its purchasing power, then what?
So that
It's of no value. So actually I'm looking for what is my spend purchasing. Sorry, yeah. Okay, so purchasing power. Now this purchasing power itself, he then gives an example of what you're in a desert and you're surrounded by nothing to purchase, then what?
uses the
It
purchasing
again.
power of the money.
So that means it's not the purchasing power per se, but it's the,
Situation where
what does he say here in this paragraph?
It's the
Comfort, the comfort
The feeling that it makes gives you. The high that it gives you.
How does he proceed here?
the comfort factor that you get from it.
Things you can buy.
Exactly. Absolutely. Right? It's not the purchasing power as such, but actually the things that you can buy. Absolutely. Right? This is how it proceeds.
Please.
Now, the things that you buy themselves are not for their sake, it is for
our sake, for our comfort.
for your comfort.
Feelings.
Right? So that means now things that you buy is actually for my comfort. So we have value for money not because of the currency is important or we like the green of dollar, but it's because we through this process we think it will make me comfortable. So what is of value to you is what?
Comfort.
Your comfort. And you think money is able to
Provide
do
that.
it. Exactly. That's why money becomes important.
How about security?
Right? So that means comfortable means you're uncomfortable being
Your
insecure.
physical or mental, whatever.
Exactly. Right? So that means you absolutely. And this I'm comfortable both excellent. Physically, so I'm surrounded by things, and security means emotionally I feel secure that if suppose I fall sick 20 years from now, I have something with me with which I can be comfortable. Right? So that means emotional. So that means money is important to you through these process, but ultimately you are interested in your comfort. Right? Now, what he's showing is, suppose you attribute all your comfort to money, what will happen?
Distortion.
You will try anything
Yes.
to get that money because you think it will make you comfortable. So now, what he's saying
You
is,
give overemphasis.
so that means, yes, it is going to give you some comfortable, but what happens is, along with this money, there is a value, and that is what? Speaking the truth.
So you compromise on your.
So if you, these are universal values, you can't just erase them from your brain, as you saw. Why can't you erase them from your brain? Because even the thief knows I don't want to be stolen. That's why you can't erase it from your brain. So that means if you only look at this, and if your equation is only money will make comfortable, you will do anything to make yourself physically and emotionally comfortable. But if you factor this in, that you can't just erase this, and the minute you go against this universal value, what is it going to do?
Makes
Bring
you uncomfortable
guilt.
in your mind.
Guilt.
Bring
Fear.
fear,
right.
fear, because you can, today you can get away, but you can always be found out. Anxiety,
You low self-esteem.
low self-esteem. That I could not do what I know. What is the source of that low self-esteem? I could not honor what I know.
The universal values.
Exactly, what I know, like not something which is imposed by others. So now, all this what does it do to your comfort level?
Maximum.
So uncomfortable. Disturbs it.
Disturbs it. So that means what happens is we only keep this in mind. We don't keep the contribution of this in mind and what it does to
Peace of mind.
your comfort. Do you understand? So that means you're not doing, not lying or speaking the truth to oblige others. Please understand that. It's not like you are doing somebody a big favor by being honest. What you begin to understand that when I am in pursuit of money, sacrifice this, what it does to my comfort is what? It is counterproductive. And when that becomes clear to you, then what happens? This becomes a bad bargain. Until then,
Sorry, this becomes a
Bad bargaining.
bad bargain. Until then, you always feel I'm only working for my comfort. When you understand that you're actually going against your own comfort, because you can be surrounded, this is what he said, you can be surrounded by, you have purchasing power, you can buy many things, but if those things that you buy, if your mind is stuck with this, can you enjoy those things? So this is what he says, everything is fine. He gives an example, right? That the heater is working, the sofa is comfortable, everything is there. But if your mind is here, it loses its value. So this is a very important para. It shows you the mechanism. Why? Where is the loss? Okay?
No, I just take a photograph without it really.
Yeah.
Nirmala's taking.
She's taking
She'll
it.
post it.
Huh?
She posts it.
No, I want the photograph.
Okay.
So it's from the chat.
Now some change so in the class. So Tushar, you can read next paragraph.
When is a value not subject to choice? When I clearly see that a particular choice will make me suffer, I do not make that choice. When seeking comfort, if I see between two choices, one of them is going to bring discomfort, then I drop that choice. My action becomes choiceless, like the answers to the question, do you want happiness or unhappiness? Similarly, if I am thoroughly convinced that acting contrary to a general value will result in my suffering, my compliance with that value becomes choiceless. If speaking truth is a value for me, and I am completely convinced that non-truth brings suffering, there is no choice but to speak truth. Speaking truth becomes natural, spontaneous, and my personal assimilated value. Any value, when it becomes my personal value, becomes choiceless for me. I do not have to think about it. The conduct mandated by a personal value is spontaneous, without reflection. Matters of hygiene are good everyday examples of personal assimilated values. Even if I am very hungry, I will not consider picking food from a garbage heap. Nor do I have a daily debate with myself over whether to brush my teeth or take a bath. I have no conflict in conforming to these values.
Let's stop here. So, how is he bringing that personal value and assimilated value? We saw he's connecting now. What was he talking about was what? One is a personal value and what was the other value he was talking about? Huh?
Situation.
Half value more irritant than behavior norms. Obligatory. Right? So personal and Now, how is he explaining this para to show you that if you understand this equation, the obligatory value will become your
It will become your assimilated value.
Right.
Your own personal assimilated.
excellent, right? So
There is
Tushar, can
situational
you-
and obligatory and personal. But there's part of this.
It becomes your personal. You have
So
decided,
what-
okay, whatever happens, truth.
So,
I'm going to say the
earlier,
truth.
let's use this particular context and see before, right? If you had not understood this whole diagram, money had what your personal, you knew because you thought it would contribute to your
Comfort.
comfort. So that means it was your personal value. Because personally you recognized what it can do for you. But speaking truth remained only excellent. Speaking truth remained only obligatory value. Something that obligatory value. Because you had heard from your parents. You had heard from your teachers. You had also the laws of the society are such that you can be put in jail. So the laws, the existing laws, legal laws, right? So that means this part of speaking truth was
Obligated.
obligatory. Now, through the previous analysis, what you have done, speaking truth no longer is an
Obligated.
obligatory value. You have converted it into
Your value.
personal
Assimilated.
value. Do you understand that?
So every time you don't take a call,
Exactly.
every time you don't say, is this worth saying the truth or not saying the truth?
So how have you converted this into from an obligatory to a personal value? How have you done it?
By understanding
By understanding what?
that it can do you more harm than it can do you good.
Excellent. So that means that you have personal value because you think it will make you comfortable. So what your ultimate goal is to do things which are comfortable, which is going to enhance your well-being, right? So now here it was you knew for sure that more money will make you comfortable. Here it seemed as though these are all telling you that you speak the truth. Now you have made speaking truth a personal value by recognizing that if I follow this value, it will make me
Uncomfortable.
comfortable. Do you understand? So you are doing it for not obliging
The world.
the
or your
world,
teachers or your parents or whatever.
but you are doing it for yourself. And you understand clearly that it will enhance your well-being. So then it is what he calls an assimilated value. An assimilated value means you don't need to keep
Keep thinking.
thinking about it.
It's
Right.
not one
That's
small
when-
truth will
when
give you
an
one big
obligatory-
gain. No need to say the truth.
So when an obligatory value becomes a personal value, it means you are doing it for ensuring your comfortableness. And when that becomes that you want to be comfortable with yourself, you need to give a big thought to it. So it's like, do you want to be happy or unhappy? Do you need to give a big thought to give that answer? No. So that means the minute you make anything your personal value, it becomes what he calls assimilated. Assimilated, and because it is assimilated, it becomes
Spontaneous. Natural.
Exactly. It becomes natural. Because you're born in a way, what is the natural program that you want to be good to yourself? You want to do things which please you, which ensures your well-being. Yeah? So that is what he says is a goal. If the values remain obligatory, one time or the other you will sacrifice them because this is that is very important to you. Is this clear? How he is progressing? Yeah. Okay. Next.
Seeing the value of a value. A value, any value, universal or situational, is a value for me only when I see the value of the value as valuable to me. I, the comfortable I, is the source of my values. I fail to follow a universal value only when I do not clearly see its value to me. I make situational choices only when I think such choices will make me feel good. Coming back to the 500 rupees that I gained by a small lie, what is the real worth of that lie to me? That small lie, joining its fellows in my mind, would cost me my mental comfort. The extra comforts that I could buy with the 500 rupees will not be able to deliver their comforts because of guilt and split. Guilt comes because I have a half value for truth, which, when I ignore it, creates a problem for me. Split comes because I know I am obliged to tell the truth and I am doing something else. Once I have guilt, once I am split, I cannot be comfortable with myself. For comforts to be enjoyed, I must be there to enjoy them. When I am split with guilt, I am rarely anywhere but with my anxieties, regrets, and guilt. Not recognizing the problem for what it is, I feel more comforts. I seek more comforts to ease my uncomfortable mind, or I try to find some method for turning off that conflicting mind and its brood of guilt. Here, when I tell a lie, I add to my discomfort when what I was trying to gain by the lie was to add to my comfort. This is true of any choice I make which conflicts with a universal ethical standard. Since I made a conflicting choice, I cannot enjoy the sought for comfort because of the guilt and split arising from the conflict. When I clearly see this fact, I will see the value of applying universal ethical standards to myself. My half value for universal values will become full value.
So what does this say?
Basically saying the same thing, that you need to have, it'll help you to make your assimilated values very clear to you.
Yeah. So that means what now? See, there are beautiful lines here. They are very beautiful. So let's go parallel.
You must already submit. Just a
I-
Sorry about that. But
this is a sentence that it's really something which is beautiful. In the first paragraph, when he says that a value is value for me when I see the value of the value as valuable to me. So that's a little bit of a, what does it mean? Tell you.
it's not dependent. It's always about being comfortable with myself and saying I will value it. It will not depend on what is the situation, what is the circumstance, what it does. But at any given point, that if it is going ahead, making me, if I can see that that is making me uncomfortable, I will not value it.
Excellent. Very good. It means in reality is, suppose you have assimilated this value, right? Suppose you say I'm following a value not because what my teachers are telling me, not because my parents are telling me, not because I have to conform to the legal system, otherwise I'll go to jail. These are all what we call external kind of
Inputs.
factors which influence my decision. The minute it has become personally important to me, I do it for myself. The minute I do it for myself, and if I understand it, then I am following value for my comfort. Because ultimately, what is the most important to me is being comfortable. Even through money, what I'm really seeking is what?
Comfort.
Being that person who can be comfortable with oneself. So this is of prime importance to me, which is what? Being comfortable to myself. Now, when you have understood this, then one will never make a statement that good people will what? Always suffer and the crooks in the society always gain. These kind of sentences will disappear. Otherwise, so many times, the people who speak the truth, they always feel as though they are losers. They are losing out. Do you see that? I meet hundreds of people who come and complain to me. I'm honest, I'm so good, I'm so this, and look at these other people who are so good, such crooks, and they have all, and look where they have reached, and I'm getting nowhere. In this sentence, what is it that you understand about the value of speaking truth?
That speaking the value of truth has a cost.
Exactly. In fact, when you make that statement, it seems to you as though that speaking truth is actually giving you disadvantage.
It has to become unconditional.
Exactly. So that means once you understand this, all these thoughts will disappear. Do you understand the implication? You can't say I understand this and still be complaining like this.
Absolutely.
That means you haven't understood. You see what I mean? So therefore, speaking the truth is a disadvantage, and not speaking the truth puts you in a exactly. These are very, very common. So I know highly honest people, they are caught in this paradigm. And because they are caught in this paradigm, they, even though they are honest, they are always
Uncomfortable.
dissatisfied. They are unhappy.
They are still uncomfortable.
They are still uncomfortable. You see that?
Yeah.
They are still uncomfortable.
So he's living the value, but he's still not gaining from that because he's not understand the value of the value.
Exactly. Do you understand? See, these paragraphs are brilliant. What happens is, when we read these paragraphs, it seems oh, he's saying the same thing.
This is super.
But
Just repeat what you
absolutely
just said.
brilliant.
See, the guy, he is uncomfortable anyway. He is following the value.
Yet he's
He is
Yes.
still uncomfortable
Yes.
because he has not understood the value of the value.
He's probably just doing it because maybe
He's following the teacher and the parent and whatever.
Yeah.
He's going by it blindly without having understood it.
Absolutely. You understand? This is a, if you understand this nuance, you've really got it. You see what I mean? Because you can be doing things right and you still feel not comfortable if you have not understood
Compromise,
value of
yeah.
values.
My parents, silly guys, they taught me to be truthful.
You see? So if you are caught in this paradigm, you're following value and you're still uncomfortable. uncomfortable with yourself because you have not understood the value of values. Right? That you have not figured out that following value adds to my comfort. And that is something that I can never change. It's part of the universal law. I can't bypass it. Nobody can bypass it. So, wonderful. So that's what it means. Okay. So the whole thing of values is what every value that you want to follow in your life, you want to make it your
Assimilated ones.
Your DNA.
That's your own, that's the way
That's
you
it.
are.
So then you don't
give
say
rise to any questions.
Then I'm
about
not uncomfortable.
the situation.
exactly. So you don't say, oh, everybody else is doing it, so let me do it. You don't make these statements anymore.
And you're also not uncomfortable.
And you're not
You
like
let them do it.
exactly. Right? So this is what? This is a big sentence.
And he continues to say that I seek not recognize the problem for what it is. I seek more comfort to ease my uncomfortable mind,
Exactly.
or I try to find some method for turning off this conflicting mind and its brood of guilt.
Excellent. So
Start
that
drinking
means-
alcohol.
Excellent. So all this you have to see each additional thing what he does. Otherwise it seems he's saying the same thing. This is why it requires what? Sharpness and alertness. How he is making you see what are the further, if you don't understand this, what are the further
Conflicts.
conflicts. So what he says is wonderful, he picked up. So now what are the two other things that happens? If you haven't understood value of values, what will happen is what either you are following value and you are still uncomfortable because you feel that you are a loser, right? Or your whole what he's saying is, or you will not follow the values and you will go with what? Money. And you will say everybody else is dishonest, so let me also be the same because you can't survive
I
without
also
it.
need to be.
So what will happen to your well-being is what? You're making yourself more and
Uncomfortable, fear,
more and more
lack of
uncomfortable.
confidence, everything.
Absolutely. So as you transact in the world, what happens is the minute you begin to sacrifice, what is multiplying is what? Your guilt,
Your discomfort.
your discomfort, your fears, your low self-esteem. So what happens is this begins to multiply manifold.